Okay. My name's Dave, and I'm with Camp Jim. That's located in Pillager, Minnesota, which is about an hour and a half north and a little bit east of here. And we are excited to be here today. I'm with part of my family. I have my wife, Amy, here, and my son, Everett. And I got three other kids. One is age 14, Bethany, and I have a 12-year-old Cameron, and 10? No, 9. 9-year-old Everett, and a 7-year-old who's Faith. So, but they had some youth group stuff that was going on, so we left them back at home today. We are a camp that really started in 1932, whose goal was to reach out to low-income families, and that's because we saw that there's a need. There's a lot of camps that provided a lot of stuff, but it costs a lot of money, and we really want kids to be able to come to camp. So we started. I think they started by, if you just brought a bag of groceries, you could come to camp, and because kids like to eat. So that's kind of how the camp started, and obviously now it costs a little bit more money, but our mission is we raise money throughout the year to allow any kid to come to camp. So whether the kid can afford $5, $10, $20, whatever it is, that's what they provide, and we'll get them to camp. So that's kind of our mission, and I'm the assistant director there, so I deal with running the program and getting all the activities and supplies needed for that. And then I also run our guest service program, which reaches out to different churches, and you can come to camp and utilize our facilities to accomplish the work that God has for that church. And so we do primarily only Christian organizations, because that's, if you're not a Christian organization, it's like, okay, we're not promoting God's word. That's what we want camp to be about. So I want to share a story with you guys from last summer. We had one of our counselors who came to camp, and it was her, I think it was the second or third week at camp, and all of a sudden she was counseling during the week, and on Wednesday she woke up from a nap, and all of a sudden she was blind. And this is she's like 20 years old, and we're like, she makes her way to the office and talking with people, and just like she can't see. And it was just this weird thing that happened, and the thing was that she was able to start talking with one of her campers on Monday when camp started, and she really sensed that this girl was close to knowing who Christ was, and there's just this sense of this girl's going to accept Christ this week. And all of a sudden, she's blind, and she has to leave camp, go to the doctor, and we're like, she's missing this time with this girl, but she has this burden on her heart that this girl needs to know Christ. And by the end of the week, this girl accepts Christ on Friday. And so Sarah is her name. She's really excited about this. And so she's able, now that she was blind, what we think is like a bad situation in our lives, God can use for good. So now she has time on her hands because, number one, she doesn't have a job. She has to be at home. And so she goes on Facebook and calls the girl and encourages her in her walk with Christ. And one day she gets a call from this girl, and she's like, this girl says, I'm afraid to die. Sarah's like, okay. So she continues the conversation with her and says, there's no fear in death, because if you have Christ in His Spirit, if you die, you're with Him. So there's no fear in death because Christ conquered death. And so she encourages the girl, and the girl's like, at the end of the conversation, literally she says, okay, I'm not afraid to die. 2 days later, this girl gets hit by a car and dies. We're like, wow, just what God, the way He orchestrated all the events and the conversations that they had, helped this girl just to be confident in her faith and what God has done for her. And the story doesn't stop there, because now, since all these conversations that they've had has been on Facebook, now there's a paper, kind of a paper trail. So now the mom goes on Facebook and sees all these conversations that were going on between Sarah and her daughter, and it was very encouraged, like, wow, who is this God that my daughter knew? Because and so it opened up a door. Now Sarah is able to talk with the mom, and the mom is now, searching for who is God, and she hasn't come to that point that she's put her faith and trust in God yet, but that door has been opened, even through a tragic situation,